Welcome to my channel.
And this is English Podcast Station.
Today, we're getting into something really foundational.
Yeah, something everyone has to do. Right.
Exactly. How to introduce yourself in English for the very first time. Super useful if you're starting out or, maybe getting ready for something like the IELTS exam.
Definitely. Think about it, meeting new people, first day of class, new job.
Or that IELTS examiner.
Right. That first impression matters. A good, confident introduction, it just sets the tone. We've looked at some great ways to, nail this.
Okay, so let's start with the basics, the absolute bedrock stuff. Those key words and phrases you'll just keep hearing and using.
It's funny, isn't it? Simple phrases like hello or nice to meet you. They seem basic, but they carry a lot of weight.
Totally. Our sources really highlight hello as that kind of universal starter, friendly, easy.
And then nice to meet you, you hear someone's name, you say it, it's like the expected response.
Makes sense. And obviously, my name is, that's how you kick things off yourself.
But it's good to add a little bit more context pretty quickly, right? Like, I'm from... It tells people, a bit about your background straight away.
Or I work as a Q. Or I study.
Yeah.
Gives them a snapshot of what you do.
Yeah. And I quite like the phrase, I like. It seems small, but sharing an interest, even just one thing.
Like I like hiking or whatever.
Exactly. It just opens the door a tiny bit, helps find common ground, a little spark, as you said.
So those are the building blocks. Now, actually starting the conversation, what greetings do people typically use?
Well, there's a whole range, really, from the super casual, like just hi.
Yep, see that all the time.
Or a slightly more neutral hello.
Okay.
And then you've got the ones tied to the time of day. Good morning.
Right.
Good afternoon. Good evening. Using the right one shows you're kind of paying attention.
And if you need to be a bit more respectful, like meeting a professor or someone senior.
That's where something like, it's a pleasure to meet you comes in handy. It just elevates the formality a little.
Okay. And what about nice to meet you? Is that always informal?
Not necessarily. It's pretty flexible. You can say nice to meet you casually, but you can also say nice to meet you, Dr. Evans, and it fits a more formal context too.
Ah, okay. So it adapts. We even saw a super simple example dialogue.
Yeah, like James says, hi, my name is James.
And Erica goes, hi, James. I'm Erica. Nice to meet you.
Then James just replies, nice to meet you too. Boom, done.
Short, sweet, covers all the bases.
Exactly. But that example is quite neutral, right? The real nuance comes in when you think about formal versus informal situations.
Right. So how do you know which one to use? When do you need to be more formal? And when is it okay to be like really casual?
Generally, you lean towards formal introductions in professional settings.
Like a job interview.
Definitely. Or meeting your boss for the first time, maybe a client, or even a teacher you want to show respect to.
So in those cases, use your full name and more polite phrases.
Precisely. You might say something like, good morning, my name is James Smith. I'm very pleased to meet you. Or, hello, I'm Erica Brown. It's a pleasure to meet you. See how that feels a bit more structured.
Yeah, it definitely sounds more official. The example dialogue we looked at had James Taylor, the graphic designer.
Right. He says, good afternoon. My name is James Taylor. I work as a graphic designer.
And Erica, the project manager, replies, nice to meet you, Mr. Taylor. Using Mr. Taylor really signals that formality.
It does. It sets that professional boundary right away. Okay, so now let's flip to the other side, informal introductions.
That's more for like hanging out with classmates after class or meeting friends of friends.
Exactly. Relaxed settings, people you see as peers, the language gets much more casual.
So probably just first names then.
Often, yeah. Simple stuff like, hi, Mames, or maybe even just, hey, I'm Erica.
We saw that in the informal example too. Erica just says, hey, I'm Erica.
And James comes back with, hi, Erica, I'm James. Nice to meet you. Quick, friendly, no fuss.
So the big takeaway is context is key. Assess the situation, formal or informal, and choose your language accordingly. Full names and polite phrases for formal.
And first names, more relaxed greetings for informal. Got it.
Okay, great. So we have the words, we understand formality. What about specific places, like starting a new school or a new job? Common scenarios.
Very common. And a good intro can make settling in so much easier. At school, maybe first day, you'd say something like, hi, my name is James. I'm a new student here. Excited for this class.
Friendly explains your situation. Simple.
Or the other example was, hello, I'm Erica. I'm from Brazil and I love studying English. Adds a bit of personal info relevant to the context.
Yeah. And there was that slightly longer school dialogue that was quite good.
Ah, yes, James from Canada introducing himself.
That's the one. He says, hi, my name is James. I'm new. I come from Canada. I like learning languages and playing football.
And Erica from Brazil responds, nice to meet you, James. I'm Erica, also a student. I'm from Brazil and I enjoy drawing.
What's good there is they share interests, right? Football, drawing, gives you something to talk about next.
Exactly. It moves beyond just the basic facts.
D'accord.
Okay, what about starting work? Slightly different vibe, usually.
Yeah, probably a bit more focus on your role.
Usually, yes. Clarity is good. Like, good morning, I'm James, the new marketing assistant. Tells everyone what you do and why you're there.
Or if the workplace is a bit more casual.
Could be something like, hi everyone, I'm Erica. I just joined the design team. Still clear, just a little less formal in tone.
The work dialogue example showed that nicely too. James introduces himself to the marketing department, says he looks forward to working with them.
And Erica, the team lead, welcomes him warmly, offers help.
Then James politely says, thanks, it's a pleasure. It balances professionalism with being, approachable.
It really does. And across both school and work, something that kept coming up in the resources was the nonverbal stuff.
Ah, yeah. Smiling.
And making eye contact makes a huge difference. Shows you're confident, open, helps people connect with you.
Definitely good advice. Now let's specifically zoom in on the IELTS context for a moment. That initial part of the speaking test, it is an introduction, isn't it?
Absolutely. Part 1 almost always starts with the examiner introducing themselves and asking for your details. It's your first chance to show your speaking ability.
Okay, so the role play example we saw was pretty typical then.
Very much so. The examiner, let's call him James again, says, good morning, my name is James. What's your full name?
And the candidate, Erica Brown, needs to respond clearly with her full name.
Exactly. Good morning, my name is Erica Brown. Then the examiner asks for ID. Standard procedure.
Okay.
Then follows up with basics. Where are you from, Erica?
And she answers directly. I'm from São Paulo in Brazil.
And finally, do you work or study?
Her answer. I'm a student. I study English and graphic design. Concise and answers the question.
That's the key for IELTS Part 1. Listen carefully to the question, answer it directly and clearly. No need for long, complicated answers right at the start. They just want the specific information.
So being prepared for those basic questions, name, origin, work, study, is crucial for feeling calm and starting well in the test.
Definitely. Speak clearly, try to stay calm, maybe offer a small smile. It all helps create that positive first impression, even in an exam.
Right. So we've got the what and when. Let's talk about the how. Some practical tips for making that introduction really strong wherever you are. These seem useful for IELTS and just everyday life.
They really are universal. And the first one is huge. Make eye contact.
Why is that so powerful, just looking at someone?
Well, the materials we reviewed explain it shows confidence, for one. It also, creates a direct link between you and the other person, builds a bit of trust right away.
Okay, that makes sense. Avoid looking at the floor.
Exactly. Tip 2, smile.
Seems simple, but easy to forget if you're nervous.
It is. But a genuine smile makes you seem friendly, open, approachable, and honestly, it can actually help you relax a little bit too.
Good point. What's number 3?
Focus on your speech. Speak clearly and not too fast. Nerves can make you rush.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
We all can. but try to pace yourself. It makes sure the other person can actually understand you. It's okay to pause for a second. Especially for IELTS, clear pronunciation is vital.
Shows respect for the listener too, right? Making it easy for them.
Absolutely. Then tip 4 is about body language. Use positive body language.
What does that mean exactly?
Things like standing or sitting reasonably straight. Try not to cross your arms, which can look defensive. Maybe nod a little to show you're listening if they speak. It all signals engagement and, again, confidence.
Little signals that add up.
Yep.
Okay, and the last tip.
Be prepared. Practice. Especially if introductions make you nervous or if you're prepping for IELTS.
How can you practice?
Say your introduction out loud, maybe in front of a mirror, see how you look. Or record yourself on your phone, hear how you sound. That practice makes it feel more natural when you do it for real. You iron out the kinks, you know what you want to say, how you want to sound, less chance of freezing up.
Great tips. Okay, to really see this all in action, we looked at a full practice conversation. Daniel and Mia.
Yeah, the new student Daniel from Nigeria meeting Mia, a classmate. It's a nice, simple, friendly example.
So Daniel starts off, "Hi, my name is Daniel. I just joined this English class."
And Mia gives a warm welcome. Hi, Daniel. I'm Mia. Welcome to the class. Where are you from? Good follow-up question.
Daniel answers, "I'm from Nigeria. I moved here last month."
Mia keeps the conversation going. That's great. How do you like it so far?
Daniel shares a positive thought. Likes the people, the food. Then crucially, he asks a question back. "What about you? Are you from here?"
Good move. Shows interest. Mia says yes. She lives nearby, studies English and business.
Daniel shares his goals, improve English for work and travel.
And Mia connects with that. Me too. Let's help each other in class. Offers support.
Nice. They end with a friendly, "nice to meet you" exchange.
What works so well there is how it develops. They ask questions, find common ground like studying English, offer support. It goes beyond just the names.
Yeah, it turns the introduction into the start of an actual conversation. That's the goal, really.
Definitely. Okay, so before we finish up, let's quickly cover some common pitfalls, some mistakes people sometimes make, and how to, steer clear of them.
Good idea. Awareness helps. What's mistake number 1?
Speaking too quickly. We mentioned it with the tips, but it's a common one, especially when nervous.
And the fix is conscious effort.
Yeah. Just try to slow down, breathe, enunciate your words clearly. Super important for IELTS clarity scores too.
Okay, what else?
Forgetting the nonverbals, no smile, no eye contact. It can make you seem uninterested or maybe lacking confidence.
Right. The solution there is?
Just remember, take a breath before you start. Relax your face into a small, natural smile, and make a point of looking at the person you're talking to. It builds that connection.
Makes sense. And the last common mistake.
It's about information overload or underload. Either saying way too much right at the start.
Like your whole life story.
Maybe not that much, but too many details. Or the opposite, being too brief, giving almost nothing away.
So finding the right balance.
Exactly. Aim for the key things. Name, maybe where you're from or what you do, and perhaps one small interesting thing or reason you're there. Enough to start with, but not overwhelming.
Got it. Concise but informative.
That's the sweet spot.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, mastering these English introductions, it seems like it's about knowing the basic words, understanding formal versus informal.
Using those tips like smiling and eye contact, speaking clearly.
And being aware of those common mistakes.
Right.
And for anyone focused on IELTS, remember this is your first speaking impression. Clarity and confidence count right from that initial "my name is."
Absolutely. So the next logical step for you listening is, practice. Say the phrases out loud. Use the mirror or record yourself like we talked about.
Get comfortable with the words and how you sound.
Exactly. Notice your pace, your clarity. Are you smiling?
And maybe think ahead. The next time you know you'll meet someone new, perhaps plan slightly. How can you use these tools we've discussed to make that first connection a really positive one?
Yeah, because that introduction, however brief, it really does set the stage for whatever comes next. It's your opening line to a new interaction.